So you can see how roughly I penciled those in. I don't know why I had those little yellow marks, but anyway, I'll try to get as much done as I can with 45 minutes. Yeah, that's plenty of time. Plenty of time, 45 minutes.
For you, it is.
You? Well, I'm recording this. I'm going to use some of this color that I have on my palette, that green color that I mixed up. And I'm kind of going to use that. Well, that's a good color, actually. That sage kind of color. I'm using this to wet the paper, because those trees are going to be, I'm going to go around the house. I'm going to keep in mind that I want that bead of water. And that's really all. Let's see, I gotta put something down here. So now I can start putting in some color. I'm going to use some I'm going to kind of follow what I'm doing here. If I put that color there, I'm going to put it someplace else. So there you go. I'm going to use some red, actually, that I have on my palette. I'm just going to make this colorful. Going to go right down to there.
Joe, I couldn't see at the very beginning. Did you wet the paper first?
Yeah, but I wet it with a color. I wet it with this sage green color.
Okay.
I'm just putting some color over here. I put that red over here. I'm going to put it over there. Going to wet this a little bit. I want to keep this. I want to make sure that I keep my white through here. That's going to be kind of a reflection. I'm going to keep some light color going through here. That's good enough. Good enough. Looks kind of fun. Some of those rocks. Oh, this is starting to dry on me. So let me put a tree back here. Let me put some trees coming up here. I'm just kind of blocking this in, wet on damp and wet on well, as it's drying. I'll put some more blue over here. Gonna be mostly in the background. Starting to get a little darker. Just having fun. Painting this little forest back here. Still pretty wet.
The dark color, what mixture is that you got there, Joe? What is that?
I'm using a teal and paint. Just basically painting in some shapes that look like could be trees. Trying to keep it fun. Using more contaminated paint. Add a little green in here. Put up my chimney. So that's getting a kind of a nice little glow
Yeah.
to it.
Mhm.
I think. Gonna mix up dark. I think I'm gonna use kind of a dark burgundy kind of color. Why not? Start putting in some darks. Just these are the big shapes. There's another rock.
And Joe, you're still fairly damp at this point?
I'm yeah, you can see the paint.
Yeah,
Being damp. This is all going to dry much lighter. Just kind of blocking in stuff. I want this to be dark around here, so might as well just start going for it. Enough of that little house. Got some stuff happening back up in here. I'm just not, I'm not following exactly where this paint is taking me. Or my photo is, my reference is taking me. What I'm trying to do is just follow the paint. What's the paint doing? Kind of cool, kind of fun. I'm using shapes. I'm trying to keep these in shapes. I think that's a pretty good, fun start. Not trying to do too much yet. I'm just leaving the house blank. I'm
That's good.
leaving
Really
some of
seem
my
right.
lights.
Looks kind of foggy in the background.
You what?
Just talking about moody landscapes.
Oh, well, this is one, huh?
Yeah.
Yes, it is. Anyway, I like the variety of colors that I'm using in this, and a lot of this was painted wet and damp. Well, I started off wet and wet. I mean, I started painting that sage green color, so that wet the paper. But as that went drying, I just started. See, it's got a lot of color without having color. Does that make sense?
And now this will, you just let it dry completely.
Well, I am going to let it dry a little bit. I'm going to put some mid-tone in there. As soon as it dries, I've got a half an hour left. So I want to start painting my some of these big shapes in here. So I've got some of these shapes in the background that's very light. And then I'm starting to put in some of these shapes that I need one there. I'm gonna make that greener, I think, and to start shaping out some of these things. This is a lovely little part right here. It's all painting itself. I don't want to goof around with that too much. And I've got a nice little balance, I think, of light. This white kind of sprinkled through here, which I can embellish that water. Anyway, I'll give that a couple minutes for it to dry. So nobody's painting along? Nobody wants to paint along?
We're observing, yeah,
Huh?
Yeah.
You're observing?
yes.
Yeah, I know, it's hard to do both, isn't it? It's hard to paint and look elsewhere at the same time,
Yeah.
so. Anyway.
Oh, I'm
is that-
wrong, and
Yep.
I made a mistake I haven't made in a long time because I'm trying to set up where I am in the same direction as my iPad. I actually I didn't use gravity, which is very rare, and then I got lots of blooms. Wow, that never happened before. Just because
No.
I didn't use gravity.
Just because of gravity, you got blooms?
No, because I didn't use gravity.
Oh, yeah.
I
Well,
always use
When
gravity.
you don't use gravity, it just makes puddles,
Yep.
and puddles are right for blooms. Because it's a puddle of water that's wetter than what it's just, it's going to seek its driest part, spread out. Whatever I don't get done, I'll paint as much as I can, but whatever I don't get done, I'll still keep the recording going. Or record it and let it dry and start a new recording. So you'll get to see the whole thing. But I very much like where this is going. So now I have to figure out how not to screw it up. No. Not going there. It's a piece of paper. Anyway, so there's my start. And I'm still going to use gravity because I don't know what I'm going to be doing next. I think you can all see that. And I'm going to use my I'm going to go to a smaller angle flat and start putting in some of these more dark midtones. I'm going to use a little bit of teal. I'm going to use some Payne's gray. Can use a little bit of alizarin in there too. I want some of these trees to be, I'm looking at this big shape. I'm looking at this shape right now. Okay. And I can go back and I can change that a little bit, but for right now, I am going to just wrap this in. And it's going to dry a little lighter than what you're seeing here. I'm gonna keep some of that, I'm gonna keep some of that back here. I like what's happening right here. That's not quite dry. I'm gonna leave a little something happening in there. I'm gonna change up a little bit. I'm gonna add some alizarin to that darker mix. I think it'll go along with the teal pretty good. I think I'm gonna add a little bit more. Yeah, why not? Anything that resembles shape of a tree would work. I'm going to leave a little bit of something happening back here. I don't know what it is yet, but I really like this
That
little
little blue.
kind of glow. Oh, paper towel holder broke. I like that. I like that red back here. Put a little something. Kind of cool. I want some green. Doesn't have to be much. Go back to my dark, go back to the teal side. On this mid-tone dark, I want to put this little tree in here that's bushy. I'm going to make this pretty blue in here. About that go. Look at all the variety of color I got in here. It's pretty cool. Pretty cool.
Yeah, they're all related, but then there's variation. Okay.
Just a little something. It's gonna fill back in on itself. It's just a little something to keep it going. I'm gonna mix up a little darker, redder color. I think. Just designing my way along here. Good enough. I am just picking, not colors, I'm picking values right now. I don't want to put that tree in yet because it's going to go in front of that house and I haven't painted the house yet. Still nice and damp back there, so that's going to let me paint a little bit, like that color mix. Ooh, wow, is that red? Yeah. I'm trying to bounce around and paint the whole picture, not just one thing. I'm always looking for someplace else to paint. I've got some phthalo and I dirtied it up a little bit. I think I want that water to stay a little bubbly, if you will. First that, and then that. First that, and then that. Getting there. This house is going to have a little bit of a reflection down here. There we go. Haven't used my lavender yet. My actually this lilac. I'm using it kind of thick. Good color.
Yeah, I do,
I'm sorry.
Oh,
I've done a lot, I don't have.
okay. Yeah.
You need to keep this pencil?
No, I need to get one, but I'm gonna keep. So. I need to
Alright.
get some colored pencils like Joe's.
Oh, yeah, of
Thank you.
course.
Oh, that's pretty too.
Slapping in a couple of darks in here. Otherwise, I'm going to run out of time just to show you.
Those pastel pencils. Joe?
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm not, yeah, because I'm going to run out of time. Still pretty wet. Still pretty wet. Good enough. Almost. I have some stuff to do yet, but I want to put a little bit of something in these trees right here. A little dark, a little more definition because they're close. But anyway, 40, 45 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
It does, when you do it, it always does make sense.
I'm sorry.
Beautiful.
Yeah, the real one is, because you get to see the transparency in the painting. Sometimes
Yeah,
on the
just when you
screen,
start
don't
painting
see
these
so
shapes,
well.
I need a couple of dark shapes.
But
These trees right here. I need a couple of dark shapes to bring those. Oh, I'm just going to add a couple of little things here, mostly just few little darks for definition. I still want to oops, I'm going to use this because I can't see the reflection of the paint. I just want to put these trees in front. So I'm just going to add a little dark in here, dark under here. Not much, doesn't need much, just something. A little more, make this one maybe a little. Back and forth. And let's see. A little bit on that side, dark right here. That's enough. And a little dark over here on this side. See if I can't keep this paper clean. Yeah, that brings that ahead of what's behind here. Not much, just a little something. Too dry for that. And what else? Oh, I know I wanted to do was just make this a little bit more readable. Uh, that water coming down. It's a little better. There we go. A little reflection. Figure out to make this square shape a little more organic. It'll work. I think I'm kind of sort of done. Gonna make one more little value adjustment. A little bit too dark. Make those rocks pop a little bit more, maybe. Whoops, I dropped my brush. That means I'm done. Okay. That would be that. That was fun. It was a fun paint. So there you go. I am going to, I can't help myself. I am going to put a little bit of little spot of red. And over here, that's something that's happening and something that's happening. Tile roof or something. Now I'm done. I got my spot of red in, so now I'm done.